Tonight on Size Eyes on the Skies.
It's a very cold night here in Ames tonight with some of the lowest temperatures we've seen in quite a while, and it doesn't show of any signs of going away. I'll let you know more on that in just a bit.
Plus, Benji has your national forecast. Size Eyes on the Skies starts now.
Live from Studio 171 in Ames, Iowa, the Iowa State Meteorology Department team of meteorologists brings you the latest weather from around the country and out your front door. Iowa State's longest-running television program and the only live weather broadcast on campus starts right now. This is Size Eyes on the Skies.
Good evening, and welcome to Size Eyes on the Skies. I'm Luke Prokosch. It's now time for this day in weather history. On this day in 1988, Arctic cold invaded the north-central U.S. Alliance, Nebraska plunged from 44 degrees to 12 above in just 2 hours. Mobridge, South Dakota reported wind chills of up to 64 degrees below zero. Winds along the eastern slopes of the Rockies gusted to 90 miles an hour in Cheyenne, Wyoming, and up to 96 miles an hour in Boulder, Colorado. Up next, Benji has a look at your national forecast.
Now let's look at today's national weather. I'm meteorologist Benji Wyberg. Let's first look at temperatures. So currently it is bone chilling in the northern plains right now. -6 in Billings and 4 in Minneapolis. And that's that huge Arctic air mass coming down in from Canada. We got pretty much 30s, and that even stretches down, even 30s down in Dallas, 34 in Memphis. But then we got nice warm temperatures down in the southeast and southwest corners, 72 in Phoenix and 76 in Miami. As we take a look at satellite and radar, things look pretty calm right now. We have a huge stretch of clouds across the central portion of the country around Missouri and Kansas. Pretty quiet down south in Texas. We do have a little bit of rain in Nevada and Utah area, but that will but the clouds in Kentucky and Tennessee area, that will bring in some very severe weather conditions coming up, as I will get into in the next couple slides. So if we first look at our upper atmosphere, we have a relatively zonal calm pattern. We still see that really cold air kind of by Winnipeg up north in Canada, just north of Minnesota and North Dakota. And we get pretty warm, this is current heights, and we kind of look at this kind of halfway in between the entire atmosphere. And it is pretty warm down south in Florida, but you can see that lime green is kind of sneaking down south into Texas. As we move on, though, there is a little bit of a trough coming in by California, which will bring in some cool temperatures in the western half of the United States. As we move on into our futurecast right now, like I mentioned earlier, that we have some high pressure dominating the northern plains, keeping it calm and really cold conditions up here. Whereas there is a low pressure forming around Kentucky and Tennessee, and that is going to bring in some pretty severe precipitation. That's kind of right on the freezing line right now, where there's going to be some mixed precipitation, possible some ice and freezing rain in that area, which is going to produce some very dangerous conditions down there with power lines getting iced over and everything like that. And there's going to be a little bit of rain. If you go a little bit further south, you got your better chance for rain. Further north, a little bit more better chance for snow, but Kentucky is just going to get pretty much icy conditions and mixed precipitation throughout the region. As we continue on into the watches and warnings, you can see that there's an ice storm warning for much of Kentucky and even extending into Arkansas and Missouri. And we do have a little bit of a winter storm warning, in winter storm watch and warning in West Virginia, because that is a little bit higher up elevation with the Appalachian Mountains, which is not going to allow the precipitation to refreeze. It's just going to stay as snow because the temperature is warmer down near the surface. So that will allow precipitation it won't allow precipitation to melt into snow around West Virginia area. As we look into our week ahead, our Pick City forecast is Seattle, Washington, and they're expecting some snow within the first few days and into the weekend, but rain into next week. There's a lot of precipitation coming, with temperatures fluctuating just around freezing. That ocean is kind of keeping temperatures pretty constant, as the water, it takes a lot of work, a lot of energy to warm up the water in the places near the ocean. So they are expecting some snow. Even though it's really cold, it's going to get warm up a little bit, but temperatures staying relatively constant around freezing for the next 5 days.
Thank you, Benji. Now here's our weather trivia question for the day. What year was the enhanced Fujita scale first introduced in the US? Was it A, 2006, B, 2007, C, 2008, or D, 2009? We'll have the answer coming up, but first, here's your Iowa forecast with Trevor.
Welcome back to Size Eyes on the Skies. I'm here now with a look at our Iowa forecast. Let's go ahead and take a look at our current conditions here in Ames. It is currently about 2 degrees with light winds at about 4 miles per hour moving in the north-northwest, giving it a real feel of about -4 degrees. Let's take a look at our temperatures across the entire state right now. It's very, very cold here in Ames, as I'm sure you've noticed, because the same is occurring all across the state. We are far below our averages as we get numbers close to 0 all across the state. Our average is supposed to be right around 28, 29 degrees, but it is far below that. There's not a single temperature across the state higher than 10 degrees. As we move into tonight, the temperature can get as low as -3 Fahrenheit, so make sure to stay inside. As we take a look at our headlines for the next couple days or so, expect it to be very, very cold and cloudy in almost all parts of the day. Winds will stay on the lighter side here in Iowa for the next couple days, so wind chill shouldn't be too bad, but it will still be very cold, so don't expect it at all to warm up at any point soon. So look at our satellite radar. We can see the upper half of the state not getting much cloud cover. With the lower half of the state right now, we can see this long pattern of cloud coverage across the state. But as you can see, we have some clouds from the west moving in, and we'll get some of that cloud coverage tomorrow. It will be 100% cloud coverage. There will be no sun as that cold front pushes through Illinois, and the cloud coverage will persist for about 2 to 3 days or so. We might not see any sunlight at all until about Saturday or Sunday, in which point we'll be getting very, very low temperatures at that point. Let's go ahead and take a look at that now. Our extended forecast for the week. As you can see, tomorrow we might see a high temperature of about 10 degrees right around like noon, 1 o'clock, but it won't get any hotter than that, as it will get progressively colder throughout the week, with a 50% chance of some light snow on Thursday. Then on Saturday and Sunday, we'll see some wild temperatures, and on Sunday, we'll see a drop to about -5, -6 degrees, the low of about -16. The temperature won't begin to warm up radically until about next Tuesday, where we see that 8-degree high. If we take a look at our overall forecast tomorrow here in Ames, it will be right around 0 degrees as everyone is getting up in the morning at about 8, 9 o'clock to go to work. But as the day moves forward, we'll see it get to about 10 degrees at around noon, 1 or 2 o'clock, with low winds and a lot of cloud cover. As we move into the late afternoon, no signs of any precipitation until Thursday.
Thank you for that forecast, Trevor. Now let's review our weather trivia question. What year was the enhanced Fujita scale first introduced in the US? And the correct answer for that is B, 2007. That's all for this edition. Thank you for joining us this evening for Size Eyes on the Skies. Be sure to check us out on Facebook and Twitter. Join us back here next week, and have a good night.